So the average guy that doesn't know any better goes out of his way to convince the girl that he's interested in that he's rich, because men know intuitively that that's what gets the woman. The nice car. He goes and even shops for nicer clothes, and if he can afford it, he dresses up his house. Puts nice furniture in it, and even fresh flowers when she's coming over. All the things that he needs to do to convince the girl that he's got money. And he succeeds. He succeeds in convincing her, and he gets the girl. And when the relationship goes south, they usually do, because they got together for the wrong reasons. He got together with her because he wanted to have access to regular sex, and he obviously found her attractive. Otherwise, he wouldn't go out of his way in the first place to convince her that he's rich so he can get her. And then she got together with him because he thought, oh, okay, here's a guy that has the resources to take care of me and my future children. And even if it doesn't work out, I'm living in the West. The divorce laws of the West will ensure that I will be fine for the rest of my life. And then quickly, all of those convincing that he did to make her believe that he's got resources will work against him. And now he's in divorce court, working overtime to convince the system that he doesn't have any money. You've heard of this software that the divorce family courts use, Dissomaster, and basically it's a cold, heartless software that doesn't care who you are, what color your hair is, what race, what name, what religion. It doesn't care. You just plug in the numbers. How much does he make? How much does she make? How long have they been married? How many children do they have? And then it spits out the number. Okay, he pays her this much for the children until they're 18, and he pays her this much for spousal support based on how many years they've been married and all that. Now the judge, the divorce court judge, the family court judge, has the power to override the Dissomaster, but he rarely does. Why would you want to do that? Depending on how good the lawyers are. The lawyers say, well, in addition to him having more money and she's accustomed to the good life, now they completely ignore the fact that before they were married, she didn't have a pot to pee in, if that's the case. But everything goes by the short time that they were married, and he is supposed to ensure that she's going to have the same quality of life. And if you don't know this now, that the amount of child and spousal support is based on his income. So if he makes $50,000 a year, the amount of child support and spousal support is a different amount. If he makes $5 million a year, is a different amount. It has nothing to do at all with how much a normal person needs to exist and to take care of the children. That's why you see these wild, settlements for people that are wealthy. Let's use extreme example of that golfer, Tiger, whatever his name was, the famous golfer, or the celebrities, whatever. And they paid 40 million, 80 million in case of Jeff Bezos, $45 billion, because that's how much that's how much he needs to survive. Otherwise, he'd be hungry on the street, living in a tent. So you see, all those things that you did to convince her to come to you, now you have to do the reverse, and now that same weapon that you bought and you loaded with bullets is working against you. All the best.